Welcome back to What's Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. You've seen this FV304 before. Yes, it's the Tier 6 British SPG owned by a fingernail clipping. And he's on the west spawn of Malinovka. 3 marks of excellence on the barrel and that eye to the right of the gun, yes. It's obvious who it is. Game on. Well, I'm reliably informed that fingernail clipping has actually had a bit of Mary Jane, and that seems to be what he's doing in the evening now. He has a bit of weed and then he plays the game. Well, on this map here, parked on this slope, should actually give him increased range. And oh, look at this. Type 64 coming towards him. Lining up the shot. He's changing direction. Rounds out. Oh, that was masterful. What a shot. Tagged the rear of that Type 64 for 160. Fires another speculative shot just in case. Now, normally at the start of a battle on Malinovka, I aim for the bush, and that's what he was just doing there. He's dialed in, and he's holding his right-hand mouse button down, and he's actually shooting over the top of an Eagle 7 on his team, who's decided to park himself directly in front of our aim point. Okay, there you can see he fires another round as he's holding the aim, and he's decided to move elsewhere. There's the Type. Well, it looks like he was making his way to that spotting bush, but going about it in a roundabout way, and he has taken some damage from one of our teammates. Looking to see if we can spot where he's gone. Yes, we can see the fence has been knocked down there. Okay, he's trying to find the bush that he might be in. He's trying to work it out. Is he going to be in that bush or this one? Rounds out. Well, fired it into that bush, but I think he's going back to the spotting bush again, because there's a possibility the guy's actually moved back. Rounds out. Oh, he got him! He got him! He took him out! Wow, what a shot! A blind kill by working out exactly where the enemy might be and firing around in there. Well, he's now going for the Super Hellcat, who's up on the spotting bush or spotting hill at F7. It's probably a reasonable guess that he's still up there. Now, as you may or may not know, in fact, I have mentioned it often enough, the FV304 wasn't actually designed to carry the 4.5-inch howitzer that you see in the game. In actual fact, that is the artillery piece that was actually fitted into the BT-42, which is now in the anime tank that's just come into the game. In actual fact, it was supposed to be the 25-pounder gun, which was supposed to be the stock gun on the, or the same gun on the Sexton 2, and also on the, it was supposed to be the stock gun for the Bishop as well. In fact, the Bishop never had the 4.5-inch howitzer, it only had the 25-pounder, and what they were supposed to do is put the 25-pounder into the FV303 and the FV304. The FV305, which actually is in the game on Xbox, was supposed to have the 5.5-inch howitzer. In fact, it does have it, that one in the game. Bit of splash. It is in the game, but it's a premium Arty at tier 8 on Xbox. Now, I think we chased him away, but from the course, he looks like he's coming back to the same spot again, so we might get another chance. Well, that was close, and it looks like it did track him. Tracks are off. That's an askew angle as well. I like the way it does that sometimes. Well, he fired another one in just on the off chance he might have caught him. Yes, the FV305 in Xbox can only do about 420 alpha, which is less than the 450 alpha you get from the FV304 in the PC game. But it does have over 90 millimeters of penetration, which means there's very few vehicles in the game it cannot penetrate. Oh, he got him in the end. He moved forward just a tad and he took the hit. So that's his second kill of the game after the Type 64. But I think he's just noticed that all our defenders on top of the hill have died. And now the enemy tanks might be coming down. The scores are even at the moment, so it's not a worry there. We can't hit the enemy back in their own cap area, so it's too far. There's the Hellcat that's supposed to be spotting for us. He's the only one who can see the enemy because the Basotto and the Sture Mill, they're too far back amongst the trees to actually see where the enemy is. In fact, actually, you can see here that a fingernail clipping's decided to move a bit closer and he's parking himself behind the Hellcat. Now, this should increase his range, but it might increase his risk. Okay, the first tank coming down is a Black Prince. He's trying to line it up, but the guy is... Oh, he's zigzagging. He is actually zigzagging. That guy knows how to play a heavy tank and avoid arty shells. That's what you have to do. You have to zigzag until you get in contact with the ground tanks, and then you don't zigzag, you waggle. Well, he forgot to waggle and he got tracked. Rounds out. And now he's been tagged. That's the SMV CC56, not the Black Prince. We get another shot. Rounds out. And... oh, that was well short. There's the Black Prince. The SMV's been killed. And the Black Prince has turned around. He's gone back up again. And he's parked himself behind the rock. He's showing us his engine deck. And that shell landed on the rock face. Keep pumping those rounds in. When tanks park themselves there behind a rock, they think the rock will protect them from an arty shot. It doesn't. That was a direct hit. And he didn't like it. He's backed up a bit. He's trying to shoot over the rocks at our teammates. And all he's getting is hammered. That has left him on a one shot now, I think. He's got 100 and... he lost 165 hit points from that shot alone. This is a kill shot if it gets him. Gotcha. Oh, it did! It did get him. Amazing. It took the computer a few seconds to retrieve the dead skin, or rather the dead wreck, the model for the vehicle. Of course, the game keeps a model for every vehicle of a tank that's actually in operation or a tank that's actually been killed. And it switches them when the tank gets killed. Well, we're one up on the enemy, and most of the enemy are out on the east side of the map now. In fact, a fingernail clipping's being very relaxed about the way he's moving down past the lake. Okay, there's the Super Hellcat. See if you can get around on him. Holy Stark, it says. Rounds out. Trees going down. Oh, somebody's there. Yep, somebody is making a nest for the winter. Was it bears make nests for the winter? Birds make nests for the summer. Well, somebody's in there knocking trees down, and it's provide cover for them. We're capping now as well in the enemy cap. Got a budgie in there. In fact, they've got a Skoda. A T25 is hugging the lake edge, trying to get resets. Rounds out. That hit him. That was a direct hit. He obviously moved along the edge. It's worth firing another round in just to see if he's still there. Rounds out again. Okay, good. He's moved on. And the Super Hellcat that we fired at earlier, Holy Stark, has actually come down and he's trying to help his teammate. We fire around. Oh, tagged him. And now he's taking damage and we're picking up. There's the end of the Super Hellcat. Now, can we get the kill on the Skoda? Yes! Directly on target. Only 21 hit points, but it counts. So that's 4 kills he's got now. There's an MT25 way up the hill. We can get around on him. Trouble with the MT25s, they move very quickly, but they are a light tank. And of course, he might get spotted if he stays out in the open. He tags him. Now get into the bushes quickly before the guy spots you. Oh, he got spotted. Yes, I think he wanted to get behind this bank so he could keep shooting, but it worked against him. Well, the MT25 has he gone down? I think he has gone down. There's only the Skoda T40 and the FV304 left. Okay, there's the FV304 making his way south. He stopped. He's taking up a position to shoot. Rounds out. Oh, we find that one in behind him. There's the tracer. So we know he's just fired. He's aiming in the wrong spot, I think. Yes, there's the impact crater from before. So he needs to be aiming slightly north of that. He's actually aiming in the wrong spot. I think he thinks the guy's backed up and he hasn't. There he is. Unfortunately, he does get a kill shot on our Eagle, but he gets him all the same. And that's it. We've just capped out. So it's a victory. Well, the end of that battle ended up with a 5th kill for fingernail clipping, but sadly he wasn't able to get any more simply because the game ended by capping out. It was an ace tanker game for fingernail clipping in the FV304. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. In fact, he got 5, one short of getting that top gun and 1/3 of the enemy team. And on top of that, he got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 15. And his win rate from the game was 4,291, which is Super Unicum standard. So very well done indeed. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the IS on his team, 1,979 hit points. But it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. That's for it wasn't a high caliber. The second highest game was the AMX M445. And second highest damage, I should say. He got 1,764, just beating, fingernail clipping with 1,700 hit points exactly. When it came to kills, he got the highest number of those with 5. Second highest was the enemy Burt, who got 3 kills. So did the Skoda T40 and the Black Prince. And when it came to base XP, it was the IS who did the best with his extra damage. He managed to get 938 to fingernail clippings 887, which beat the Eagle 7, who got 684. He was the guy who got shotgunned by the enemy FV304. He fired 38 rounds in that game, so 10 direct hits and 1 penetrating shot, which I suspect was that Type 64, which he hit very, very profoundly. Let's have a look. Yes, it went right through him. 294 hit points and, of course, 1 penetration. But he did hit him twice. Once when he was out in the field and then once when he parked in that bush. And, yes, if you have been spotted going for the bush and there is an Arty in the game, you can expect to get hit in the bush again. So I think that Type made a bad decision to go back to the bush again. He should have picked a different spot to spot from. We go back to the detail and we can see he also got 24 splashes on the enemy, 1,700 hit points of damage, of which 1,566 were at more than 300 meters. So he did do some close range shots on the Type, I think it was. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 5 were killed, and on a free-to-play account, he made a profit of 11,338 credits. Notice how he didn't have to resupply consumables because he's already got them. He's already bought them in bulk while they were half price, and that way it improves his figures overall. So if he hadn't have done that, you see, he would have had to have paid 20,000 for the consumables, and that would have made him a loss on the overall game. But because he's a smart guy, he obviously buys his tea and crumpets in bulk, and then obviously that way he doesn't have to pay for the consumables during the game, and it makes his games look much, much better. He also got 1,774 experience points out of the game as well. So, yes, that was a decent game in the FV304. And you noticed how he actually was, he was a bit more bold and adventurous as well. He was quite prepared to drive down the lake and get closer to the enemy because they were hugging the east side of the map. And not many drivers of Arty would actually be prepared to do that because it's very risky. In fact, you could have gone to the spot, he could have gone to capping actually, and got into the cap and sat in one of the bushes. And then obviously the enemy FV304 probably would have tried to reset him. But yes, he could have actually gone there because he was adventurous enough to actually go all the way down towards the enemy. Mind you, he would have missed out on that kill on the Skoda T25, and that was another good shot as well. Hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.